How's it going, everybody? Steve from Perfect Reload here, and this is a very different kind of video. So I want to give everybody the heads up that this is a personal video and kind of a channel update 1 year into the new version of the channel. So if that's not your thing, you just want to be you just want to hang around for the video game talk and take a look at new games, this video isn't for you. So I just want to get that out of the way real quick. But so this video is going up on September 7th, and September 7th is a year ago is when this channel essentially became active again. So I started the I guess I'll kind of give the long, I guess this is the opportunity, I guess, to tell the longer version of the story. So what happened is in October. So this channel started in either January or February of 2020, essentially. What happened was in October of 2019, I lost my job. I was part of a mass layoff at a place I'd been working for a little bit over 4 years, maybe 4.5 years ish, something like that. And I didn't really know what to do. I'd never lost a job before. I had quit jobs, but I had something else, to go to. And this kind of came out of the blue. So I wasn't really sure what to do. And I was able to get severance from that place that let me essentially keep my same paycheck for a while. So it wasn't necessarily a huge mad dash to find a new job. The holidays were coming up, so a lot of places weren't really hiring at the time anyways. So, I kind of took it easy, and I just kind of took a break from life for a little bit. Looking back on it, I think I definitely wasted that time in a big way. I didn't really do anything productive. I think I was just kind of in a place where I just wanted a break, and I just didn't want to have any responsibilities or do anything. And that was certainly not the correct way to spend that time. But as 2020 rolled around, I realized I needed to kind of start doing something. So while I was at this point seriously looking for a new job, because eventually that's, the pay was going to run out, I started, doing the job hunt thing, interviews, making phone calls, looking online during the day, all that stuff. You can only do that for so much, right? Or for so long before you start seeing just repeats of the same things. I don't live in a metropolis where there are thousands of companies hiring or anything like that. So, there's only so many things, only so many things you're qualified for, and so many things that you want to do in all of the like. So I decided, why don't I give kind of YouTube a shot? And at the time, if you look back at the first videos on the channel, I was trying to do that kind of like video essay, almost educational type thing. And I think it worked and it didn't work. Looking back on it now, I think I would have done those videos entirely differently. They were very much devoid of personality. They were very dry, which is weird because I would not describe myself as a dry person. And I don't think a lot of people would either. I'm certainly far more out there in my personal life than I am through this because, I am trying to, I take this serious and all that. But those videos were, I don't know if I want to say boring, but to a degree, I think they were. I think there were some interesting ideas in there that just weren't executed in the best way. I would probably redo all of that stuff over again. I would start it from scratch, just keep like the topic and do it differently. And then after a while, I started doing the weekly show, and the weekly show was doing well. At the same time, though, hindsight being what it is, I would have done the show entirely differently. It was just too short. And I think I do a short show now being about, an hour long. But I look at some of the podcasts I listen to that are like 2 to 3 hours. And it's just like with one person, I can't do that. You do not want to listen to me for that long. And I don't want to listen to myself for that long. I don't want to talk for that long. If I had a regular co-host every week, sure, we would probably be hitting an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that, potentially, depending. But I don't want to just keep repeating myself and all that. I have a tendency to trip over my words at times, and it just wouldn't make for a fun listen. So the show was really short at the time, and I didn't really talk about the games I was playing. It was really just about the news. And I think maybe at the time it was because I just wasn't playing a lot, or the games that I was playing, I just felt like I didn't need to talk about. And I still kind of do that to a degree on this channel. There are games that I play every week that I don't talk about because maybe they're the same game every week, or maybe it's just because, you probably don't want to listen to me talk about the sports games I'm playing. Like, it's just not really interesting to listen to. So that was going along pretty well. It wasn't really successful by any stretch. It was a couple views here and there. There wasn't really like a breakout video or anything like that. And then I started kind of doing the gameplay stuff, and that wasn't really getting any views either. And then I decided that I was like, all right, I'm going to kind of like scrap all of this. Which is funny because the last episode of that show that I did got the most views. It actually kind of hooked onto the algorithm somehow and got like around 300, 400 views, something like that, which I had to laugh about. But then I started doing what I call the perfect reload videos, which are those animated, like really over the top, out there kind of things that are sort of that still video essay thing, just with a lot more personality than the original ones did. I would love to do more of them. They just take a very long time. It's funny because this is a year later and I've done one in the past year. I have one almost ready to start to film. And I have ideas for a couple others, but it is just a very slow going process. And I will get into why that is in a few minutes. And then, everything just stopped. The show, the channels, the show, everything just stopped. And it was almost a year. I think, it was just about a year, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit longer. I can't remember, before I did another video. And, the first video back was the Immortality video. I had finished playing Immortality. I'm filming this on Labor Day, so I'm filming this a few days before the video is coming up. And it was Labor Day weekend when Immortality came out last year. And I loved the game so much that I was just like, I want to get these thoughts out of my head, and why don't I put them on YouTube? And so I did that, and I was like, well, maybe I can make the YouTube channel something again. And what I am doing now on this channel, which is proving to be successful in small steps, was not the idea I initially had. My idea at the time was I will do one of these perfect reload videos, the longer animated ones, once every 3 months, once every 2 months, if I can really keep them cooking, something like that. And then I will supplement that by doing full motion sickness, which is something I still do on this channel. It just is a very infrequent upload, which again, like the perfect reload stuff, I will get into in why that is in a few minutes. But that was the plan. And then the beginning of the year rolls around, and I was like, I kind of want to do the weekly show again, but I want to make it different. And that was the whole idea with the Christian Slater thing. And the reason why I do the Christian Slater thing is I think it makes the show very odd and very weird, and it makes it stand out from a visual standpoint. There's nothing else really like it that I am familiar with. I'm not saying that it's a wholly original idea or anything like that. That show, especially if you know me, that show it's fucking Space Ghost. Like it's my like tribute to Space Ghost. And it's I love doing it, and I have so many ideas for that show. As AI gets more and more powerful, I'm implementing more and more AI services and systems to help generate that show. Like his facial animations, all that stuff is done through generative AI. I'm not going to get into it just in case I can't make it happen. As right now, the only thing that's stopping me from doing some of the stuff I want to do is straight up money. Just hiring somebody, because I'm not artistically inclined. Like I need to find an artist that can draw me some stuff, but I need to find an artist that can do a very specific animations, or not even animations. I don't need to be fully animated, but I need them to be able to nail a very, very specific art style. And I just don't know anybody that draws like that. So I'm going to have to, I don't know, Fiverr or something. I don't know, to venture out there. But I love doing it. I love that it sets it apart. But the reason why I did the thing with Christian Slater is because, in a perfect world, I would have a co-host every week. But that's a huge ask. Not that I couldn't, I'm sure I could find somebody that's willing to do it. But my issue is, and this is where I would sound kind of like a jerk about it, is I need to find somebody that's going to take it as serious as I do, where it becomes a priority above all else. I shape my week around doing this stuff to make sure that I am hitting deadlines, that I'm getting stuff done in an appropriate amount of time. I am doing the research. I am playing the games, like all of that. Like that show, it doesn't take long to film. And it doesn't take long to edit, but it takes long to form. I have to play the games. I have to read the news. I have to scour the web for the news. I have to read opinion pieces. I have to do all that stuff because I take it serious, and I want to put forth, despite the wacky frame that is around it, I want to put forth a serious product that is, to the best of my ability, well researched. Especially as somebody that doesn't have any connections to the video game industry. I have to take all this stuff. I have to parse it out and search through it myself. So that was definitely not what I anticipated when I started doing the channel again, was to do this weekly thing. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll do the weekly thing, and then I'll put something on the channel every week. I'll do the full motion sickness when I can, the perfect reload when I can, et cetera, et cetera. And then it got to the point where you didn't see that long after, well, why don't we start streaming? Why don't we start putting gameplay videos up? And then it kind of like started ticking up, like views started going up. I was getting 2 to 3 views, and then I started getting 20 views, 30 views. Some of them were getting 80 views. And then some videos like the home hotline, I wish I could remember the name of the game, got like almost 600 views. Like I was like, okay, there is something to this. I don't know what it was 2 years ago where nobody wanted to watch me play games, versus now. I don't know if I'm just taking it in a different approach. Maybe it's because I'm doing kind of what YouTube wants you to do with thumbnails and titles and all of that stuff, cross posting things on Twitter, Instagram, now on TikTok even. I'm trying to play their game. And then the real turning point with all of this was doing the YouTube shorts. And what I have come to figure out is that if YouTube comes up with a new service like it did with shorts, they want you to do that, and they will reward you for doing that. So for those of you that want a little inside baseball into how YouTube works, the first time you post a short, they are going to artificially inflate it to give you that sense of, oh my God, what I just did worked. I need to do more of it. They are going to show it in more feeds. They are going to push it very hard. And so if you look at like the shorts I've done, you can kind of see where I hit the line with what they want. I've had a couple that have done really well, and then I had one that they never pushed out. If you go into, I can't think of the name of the title of the video because I had to change it a few times. It only has 3 views. It's the least viewed short I have aside from one of the AEW ones. And it's because YouTube didn't feel that it was content appropriate for YouTube. So it didn't actually send it into anybody's YouTube Shorts feed. If you saw it in your YouTube Shorts feed and you're one of the 3 or 4 people that saw that, it is simply because you were subscribed to this channel. I have the analytics on my phone in the YouTube Creator app that says it was never sent out. I tried uploading it. I took it down, uploaded it again, changed the name of the video, all that stuff. It just didn't appreciate the content because when I put it on Instagram, it got sent out. When I put it on TikTok, it got sent out. It was like that. It was fine. But YouTube didn't deem it appropriate due to the content in the video, which I think ultimately is kind of sad. Because it's stifling, free speech. There's nothing hateful in that video. There's nothing overtly sexual or graphic or anything like that. I don't believe I swear in that video, but because of the topic at hand, they didn't like it. And I thought, oh, maybe that's it. Maybe it didn't. Maybe that the artificial pushing of my shorts has ended. But that's not true because after that I put up my most viewed short, which is also the most viewed video on the channel, and then the Starfield one I just put up is like second most viewed video on the channel. So it's definitely not that. They can catch on. But that's the reason why you haven't seen a lot of full motion sickness and a lot of the perfect reload stuff, is because I diverted my attention to working on those shorts and trying to get those up, 1 to 2 a week, because that was bringing people in. When I started doing those shorts, I tripled my subscribers. It's hard not to chase that, right? Like those are bringing way more eyeballs onto this channel than any of those other videos ever did. So that's kind of the reasoning why. Now, that being said, I'm not going to just let that be the way this channel is. I still want to do this the way I want to do this. So I am taking time away from doing a lot of extra videos, maybe only covering the biggest games instead of every game that I am playing, to give myself that time to get those videos back out there, because I think that the perfect reload videos in particular, the animated ones, I think that they are my best shot at separating myself from all the other talking heads out there talking about video games on on YouTube. You know, I would love to do this as a living and talk about video games and get paid to do it, but that's just not going to happen. You know, I'm very realistic about that. That's just straight up not going to happen unless something really bizarre, you know, occurs. But to get noticed, I got to do something that's a little bit different than everybody else. And I think that's it. You know, that's really what it is. So that kind of gives you the history of how we got here. And the reason why I wanted to put this video up, and you can see it in the thumbnail, is just to say thanks to everybody that's subscribed, to everybody that's watched a video, that's left a comment, that's liked a video, whether you were on YouTube or TikTok or wherever you saw my stuff. I just really want to say thank you. You know, I didn't know how personal I wanted to get with this video, but you know, when I stopped making the videos, it was because my personal life was going, it was just, I was driving on the wrong side of the road, you know, and I could see, I couldn't see where I was going. I was driving on the wrong side of the road with my lights off at night is a pretty good way to put it. I knew something bad was going to happen. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know when it was going to happen. And it all kind of happened all at once. You know, 2022, last year was 100% the worst year of my life. I had two very big losses in my personal life. And I also got very, very sick at the beginning of last year. Very, very sick. And it was kind of a wake up call that I needed to do something with my life, even if it was very small. And that was one of the deciding factors into taking this more serious. Was, you know, even if I never find true success monetarily with this channel, even if I never hit the 1,000 subscribers you need to monetize or anything like that, at least I am doing what I enjoy doing by talking about games every week, by playing games, by streaming from time to time, all that stuff. You know, it is a big, how do I want to put this? When you're in your 30s, and obviously this happens to people that are far younger, but when you were in your 30s and you were at a doctor's appointment and the doctor says, oh, well, we're going to give you a referral to go talk to this other doctor, they're an oncologist. You know, it's a big, you know, that's kind of a big thing, you know, is to all of a sudden be at, going to the same oncologist your father went to before he passed away. You know, it's that gives you a big it's either going to motivate you or it's going to completely destroy you. And for a while it completely destroyed me, which is why there was such a delay between that happening and me starting up with this. But yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this channel. You know, it's certainly not stopping. This isn't me saying I'm taking a break or anything. I just wanted to do, you know, seeing that it was a year since I started taking this really serious, it felt like it was a good time to step back and reflect and just once again say thank you to everybody that hangs out on this this stupid thing that I decided to spend my time doing. But yeah, I don't really feel the need to keep going any further. You know, I hope you guys enjoy the stuff that I put out. I hope you enjoy what I plan on putting out because I've got a lot of big ideas. We'll see if they actually come to fruition. But beyond that, I guess once again, for the last time, just thank you. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you again real soon.